All right, great. We are live. Well, hello, parents. Hey, look, just thought I'd pop into the group, um, and just have a chat. So pop into group on the page, on the channel, wherever you're watching this live stream. And I want to have a chat. I want to carry on about the conversation we were having yesterday. And, yesterday we were talking about thinkers versus action takers. And I was talking about, you know, the man, the woman that went down to the gym and they signed up and they wanted to sign up for a gym membership, because they had this wonderful holiday planned. They were going to go off to the tropical islands somewhere, the clear blue waters and the white sands, and they're going to be walking down the beach hand in hand, drinking the drink with the little paper umbrella on it. And I said there's two types of people, there's thinkers and there's action takers. And the thinker is the person, I think in the end, we concluded the thinker is the person who, stays in their comfort zone, that wants a result, but is not willing to go through a small amount of pain or discomfort in order to get the result. They were the one that was checking all the features of the gym memberships to see exactly what they would get. And, then they couldn't find the resources, or, they had to move their schedule around and go down to gym early or after work or be in a new diet. All right. And in the end, they didn't achieve the result that they wanted. And so after 3 months, they saw all their friends down the gym being successful, losing weight, getting toned up. And then, of course, by the time the summertime came around, they hadn't moved their position in life. They hadn't improved anything. And so they were headed off to a holiday, kind of, with the dad bod, or maybe overweight, not really feeling comfortable walking down the beach in a swimsuit, didn't have the energy for the children, were still worried about healthcare concerns like, heart disease, cancer, type 2 diabetes. It just went on, right? And then we talked about the people that were the action takers. And they went down to the gym. And sure, they checked out the features and the benefits and see how many spin classes they got and what was the cost and everything else. But they were willing to move out of their comfort zone. They realized, yes, we have to go through a small amount of pain to get the result that we want. So we have to get early in the morning, or go down to the gym late at night after work, or we've got to eat a more healthy diet, or, a little bit of pain and discomfort, like lifting weight and running on the treadmill, but in the end, it's going to be worth it. And in 3 months and 90 days, they saw the result that they were going after. Like, they were losing the dad bod, they were getting into shape. And then after 6 months, going down to they jetted off the tropical islands, and they were walking hand in hand down the beach on the white sands and with crystal clear blue waters, and they were drinking drinks with little paper umbrellas in it, thinking, yes, I've achieved this goal, this result. Okay, so this is where we left yesterday. But question is, what are you missing out on in life if you don't take action? So we talked about the parents that wanted to go down the gym, for example, and then we moved it over to those parents that are thinkers and they're not willing to move out their comfort zone. And so it's more like a case of, yeah, my child's got a B or a C or a D, or even worse, an A-level chemistry. And, the exam at the end of the year is coming up. So either the UCAS exam or it's the final exam in year 13. And you know what? I'm stuck in my comfort zone because I can't be resourceful enough to find the resources that I need to invest in the course to help my child earn this grade. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stay in this comfort zone, and I'm not going to be successful in helping my child get the result that they want. And then we talked about the action takers. The action takers are, yes, I'll find the resources. I'll be resourceful enough to find the resources. I help my child put in the time and the effort, work with them on a study plan, work with them on a timetable, keep them motivated until they start seeing results that they want, because they're action takers, okay? Now, I had a conversation with a parent last night, really interesting conversation, all right? And I was speaking to the student, young man, he wants to be a cardiothoracic surgeon. So he obviously wants to go to medical school. And right now he's on an A-B borderline in A-level chemistry. Sometimes he gets A, sometimes he just misses it and gets a B. And sometimes he gets a B and it could be an A. All right. And I'm talking to him, and he's like, yeah, you know what? I don't have the confidence in my own ability. And my exam taking technique it needs a little bit of work. My organization is all over the place. I mean, this is his words telling me. Okay. So I asked him a question. I said to him, you know what? What do you think the grade's going to be if you don't enroll in my course, or you don't hire a tutor, you don't take any action? In other words, be a thinker. And he looked at me, he said, well, you know what? He said, I could get an A. I could get an A. Probably get a B. Because I'm on an A-B borderline now. And I said to him, are you willing to settle for that? Could get an A, could get a B. He's like, no. I said, so are you willing to gamble your future or whether you get an A or a B? He's like, well, what do you mean? I said, well, if you don't take action, then what's going to happen is that you're gambling on the day of the exam whether you're going to get an A star or an A or a B. And because of that, if you don't get an A star or an A, well, then you're not going to get into the medical school of your choice. I mean, he's been to medical school interviews. He knows which medical school that he wants to go to. I said, so you're not going to be a cardiothoracic surgeon. You're not going to go to the medical school that you want, which means then what are you going to do? And he said, well, I have to take a gap here. Oh, you got to take a gap here? Yeah. And then after that, well, I got to reset A-level chemistry and hope I get higher than a B. Right. We said, do you have a plan for that? He's like, no. And I said, well, how does that make you feel? He said, well, really, he said, it's not something that I want. I'm not willing to gamble on it. He said, you're right. I'm not willing to gamble on it. I'm not willing to settle for this. He said, I need to be doing something now, don't I? I'm like, absolutely. And I turned around to his dad and I said to his father, I said, look, I said, well, what about you? What do you think? I mean, are you willing to gamble your son's education, like be a cardiothoracic surgeon, go to top medical school? Are you willing to gamble that and hope that he gets an A star or an A on the day of the exam? Or are you willing to take some action and do something? And the father immediately said, no, seriously, look, you've got to take action because you are completely correct. All right. We're not willing to gamble my son's future for one exam grade. We're not willing to settle for a B and have him do a gap year and everything and reset A-level chemistry, And so my point being is, I mean, this is a really specific example, but my point being is this: what's the cost of you missing out on things in life because you don't take action? Like, for example, the story about the gym membership. Well, yeah, I mean, what's the cost? If you don't go down the gym and lose the excess weight and get toned and eat healthy and follow a routine, well, then, yeah, you're more likely, probable to come down with cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, cancer, so on and so forth. You're not going to feel confident in your own skin. You're not going to be happy with who you are. All right? You're thinking, this is just a gym membership. But we're talking about what's the cost of your child missing out on things in life because you weren't willing to take action and you weren't willing to do what was needed in order to secure the A star in A-level chemistry for them, okay? So, just a thought that I had, parents, just a question that I was thinking about, follow up to the one yesterday, so as always, if you're a parent of a year 12 or a year 13 student, and you're thinking, year 12 student, my child is taking the UCAS exam coming up in the summertime, or you're the parent of a year 13 student, and they're taking the final exams in the summertime, and you want to secure an A star for them in A-level chemistry, well, then reach out to me. Depending on what this video is, leave a comment below the video. All right, send me a message on Facebook, right? Send me a DM. I'll reach out to you and have a conversation with you, and I'll show you how I can help your child earn an A star in A-level chemistry in less than 16 weeks. All right, take care. See you on the next one.